Now you're probably wondering, what the flip is Garth Marenghi's Darkplace? Well, it's a British show that aired in 2004 and is only 6 episodes long, which is why I watched it.
They only ran 6 episodes. That's the great thing about British TV. They give you closure.
Now, if you see some snippets from the show at random, you'll probably be wondering, why the hell do I think this show is genius? It looks like absolute garbage. Well, it's intentional. Let me explain. There's a horror author writer named Garth Marenghi, and in that universe, he wrote, directed, and starred in a show called Garth Marenghi's Darkplace that supposedly aired in the 1980s in that universe. And in between the show, we see the actors play the characters in the show, which is very meta. Now we see these little bits of interviews in between the show, which gives us a look into a character's psyche without being too on your face. But now, let's get on to the show itself within the universe. And it is god awful, yet genius at the same time. Before you think I've gone crack, let me explain myself again. So the production design is cheap, the acting and dialogues are god awful, and if this was an actual show, it would be really, really bad. Their motions are stiff, their dialogue delivery is just bland, as all the lines are spoken without any pauses and without any range of expressions. But the actors did a great job, as they were playing bad actors convincingly. And Marenghi's character is a doctor named Douglas, who has opened up a gateway to hell and has to face certain consequences and supernatural events, which is a weird and interesting concept.
What the fuck is going on?
And it is visually interesting because of course it is meant to look like 80s, and they have that kind of look into it with all the green screen and all. And they have, for example, in episode 3, I believe, episode 2 actually, they have like objects just floating around using telekinesis. You can see the threads, which were like first of all, this whole thing is a parody of the 80s horror shows and all. So you could see those threads which were like telling about the 80s horror shows, and they have done a flawless job of being bad actors while they are good actors, because that changes the whole perspective you watch the show. If you read the script alone, it feels like this is a serious script, like a serious horror show kind of thing. But by their acting, it is hilarious.
In one episode, the character Liz randomly gets telekinetic abilities, or Douglas wants an alien as his son but ends up killing him, or everyone in the hospital become monkeys on drinking a mysterious green water, or how a woman becomes a vegetable, broccoli to be precise. There are moments in the show where Douglas visits children in the hospital and the children praise him and call him a hero for being kind to them. In the final episode, Douglas becomes upset on not hearing a thank you for giving his friends a lift. Everyone knows he's right, he's tormented, even taking the interviews into account. It shows us that Marenghi has a huge ego and loves to hear good things about himself and only himself. And when he doesn't, it is an intimate character study of an egotistical man whose mind is full of wacky and weird things, and we get a look into his mindset, beliefs and viewpoints on the world and people. And by the end of the show, I felt like I knew the character of Garth Marenghi really well, and this was a very interesting experience. Even the humor, acting and metatextual layers are truly a genius, and is done in a wacky and enjoyable way that keeps you engaged throughout. The whole series is available on YouTube. I suggest you give it a watch. In total, the whole show is about 2 hours of screen time, so I'm assuming you wouldn't have much of a problem with it. And so I thank you for watching this video. Hopefully after this video you'll probably watch Garth Marenghi's Darkplace, and if you actually manage to watch the show, then I feel like I've done my job. So yeah, bye.